Nice jam, Mr. Pete.
Thank you.
Right, so we are going to take you through the Ampero 2 stage. It's one of those units where there's not really anything that it can't do, I suppose. So I'm going to read you some spec and we're going to take you through sort of, what it can do. What you are hearing is Pete plugged in here, and then our interface is connected right to here. So we're not using amps or anything else. Bosch, BJD.
You know what it says in here, Lee? If you look really close, it says like and subscribe. and if you got, when we get to 10,000, every time we get to 10,000, we pick a winner that wins.
Flip over the back. Does that say you use the timestamps just here?
Yes, it does. In there, in that little place there. It actually does. And it does also check the links below for everything in. Yeah.
Come on, right. There's so much. I apologise. I'm reading off of the Hotone Hot One website. Right. This is a second generation amp modeler and effects processor. It's important. This is a modeler, not a profiler.
It doesn't profile.
It doesn't profile.
No.
This is using Ampero 2's iconic tri-core DSP platform and ESS Sabre ADDAs. It's evolved
Tri-core
from the CDCM HD and the F.I.R.E modelling system.
Is that like a CIA?
Absolutely. Turbo 318 point TDI.
FBI, CIA, CD.
Exactly. Baby on board. It has 24-bit signal processing, massive dynamic range, a 5-inch dynamic touch screen. Newly designed.
Is this 5 inch?
It is.
I thought it was much bigger than that. I'm sure, and that's what I've heard. That's what I tell people.
It has a highly customizable dual effect chain, whatever that means. You can have 12 effects at a time, and you can assign any effect module to any one of those 12 things. You have 12 reverbs in a row if you wanted to.
Well, that's
loads
exactly
of in and outs, which we'll talk about in a minute. 90 amp models, 68 cab models, independent preamp and power amp simulation, over 100 different pedal models.
100?
More than 60 different original effects models, an IR loader, 20 comes with 20 Celestion speaker IRs already included. Obviously,
the official Celestion ones. They're good.
It's Bluetooth. It works with any kind of computer, going right back to the ZX Spectrum. It is an 8-in, 8-out. Yeah, we're both on that ZX Spectrum somewhere. It's an 8-in, 8-out USB audio interface.
8-in.
It's got stuff for acoustic guitars. It's got 300 presets. It's got a stereo looper. It's got so much stuff. Blah blah
I'm so
blah.
tired
Basically,
already.
MIDI. La-di-da. All in here. It very much is... This just replaces everything. So I don't think this is necessarily... Well, I suppose you could use it in 4-cable method.
You could, yeah.
This is not like you don't have your favourite other pedals. I think this is just like, that's it. That's all you take into the gig or to the studio. Bosh.
4K method would be cool to do this because you get the feel and vibe of the real amp.
You can, in all fairness, any one of those 12 effects blocks can be assigned as an effects loop, and you're absolutely right. You could use it in 4K method. Yeah. So if you want to incorporate this into your existing rig, you could.
Yeah.
I suspect it's a bit, that's not the point.
I tell you, once you start buying separate pedals, man, it's a
rabbit hole.
It's a gas. It happens. You buy one, you buy two, you buy three. That's it. It's like tattoos.
So, can I flip this up like this? Probably going to be totally out of focus now, aren't we?
Oh no, look. Oh, you ruined the whole video now. We'll get a sweep of this. Oh, it's fine.
So,
we'll get a sweep.
We've got, there's so much stuff. Guitar input, microphone input, which actually is a dual purpose.
So you can go left and right in.
Yeah, but according to this, you can have a dual signal path, sing through one, play guitar through the other, have different effects on each one.
I do that all the time.
Isn't that bit quad Cortex-y might be? You can expand the number of switches and expression pedals you have on here.
Helix for sure.
There's your stereo effects loop. You've got XLR outputs, unbalanced jack outputs, tons of stuff here. Headphones,
MIDI,
MIDI, USB-C.
A little power switch, and then wall warp.
Yeah, the wall warp. Pete doesn't like the wall warp, but that's just what it is.
Are we here? You know what this reminds me of? This display here. It reminds me of. It's like an 80s sci-fi.
The font, you mean?
On like a space film, and they're doing something on the TV, on the monitor or whatever. It looks a bit like that.
Computer, activate my Marshall simulator.
This is my favourite switch, sorry.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad little feature, this one
That's my
is.
favourite
So if you're worried that live a toe or something might touch the screen by accident, or any of these things, you just want to lock
nothing works, look.
You can put it into lock mode. A couple of things here that we found that was kind of funky. So volume here you can adjust the volume of the unbalanced and the balanced inputs completely separately, which I thought was kind of cool.
And this little screen, I like that. That's
cool. The menu, obviously this is predominantly used for going through the different presets if you want to do it like that. Don't know what happens if you press it. Oh, I see, that's moving the cursor around the screen.
Yeah, that's cool.
These are always your kind of like fast access edit knobs. So on this particular patch, you've got instant access to amp gain, delay mix, and reverb mix.
Instant access.
Again, that would be assignable. You choose what are your 3 parameters that you first want to get to. Switches do switching, funnily enough. So that's a sort of an overview of the knobs. Yeah, you've got tuner, you've got looper, you've got tons of stuff here.
Can I tune, please?
Of course you can.
I'm just gonna... Big clear screen there. I like that. That's cool, but if you're not in tune...
Oh, I see. So you don't. You just need to see yellow means you're out of tune, or red means you're miles out of tune.
Yeah, but I'm just bending the neck. But nothing happens when you bend the neck, look.
You got the choice here, you can see, of muting the tuner when it's on or leaving it. Anyway, look.
Yeah, cool.
So, I think the first thing that, again, I did quite like about this is most of these types of effects unit now have this concept of being in a patch mode or a preset mode where switching loads a completely new set of effects. Or you can elect to be in stomp mode where each of the, you're going to stay in the same preset, but each of these switches now will turn on and off an effect. And actually, Ampero 2 Stage has got this concept of scenes as well as individual effects. So you can see now, this is scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. It doesn't mean a lot actually on that particular view, but if I go back to the pedal view, you'll see scene 1, scene 2 and scene 3 are actually all different combinations of different effects. And on this particular patch again, it's only actually pedal number 4 that is turning an individual effect on and off. This particular preset had a good example actually of where stomp mode, it was only ever just turning off individual pedals.
Right.
So nice and easy, and again you can assign the colours of the rings, different colours and all that kinds of Lord of the Rings. I think again, if you're not familiar with this, the reason brands are kind of, or manufacturers are encouraging you to use this idea of stomp mode or scene mode is where the DSP processor has to change from preset 1 to preset 2, there's always a slightly sort of artificial sense of the sound changing. So I wouldn't say a glitch or a dropout, but it's like a very immediate to the next sound. Whereas if you stay within the same preset and you load different scenes or different, you just toggle effects on and off, it's very seamless and just will feel like you're using a normal pedal board.
Yeah. Well, what is this, 600 quid?
600 quid. Yeah.
And that's a lot for your money, isn't it?
This is the bigger brother of the Stomp. So there is an Ampero 2 Stomp.
I can't keep up with all the stuff there is anymore,
which is the same basic engine but with less switches on them. Anyway, right.
And we did
now we're going to do some
thing
playing
earlier with the same screen on it. So if you're familiar with this and you want that little speaker, that little pulse thing, I mean, there's so much stuff going on.
The Hotone kind of operating system feels quite familiar all through the range. Literally just do 20 patches and then we'll talk a bit more about what you can do with Bluetooth and other stuff.
This is called Ampero to Stage. Classic first preset of a
over-the-top reverb.
Because what you do is you put your headphones in when you're in the shop and you go like, I'll take 2 of these to go, please. Oh, so can I just say something? So you're in, if you go in stomp mode here, so now these are scenes, right? So let's see what happens.
So it's like a dry scene, a wet scene.
Oh God.
I don't know.
Oh, there's like some modulation going on.
right, Eddie.
Eddie.
As I say, every single one of these presets, you assign what you want to happen in Stomp mode. So you decide if you want scenes or toggle effects on and off, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. What is this one here? Brown is clean. All right, here's a global setting for all of this.
Only because I wanted to just see. I wanted to see. I'm sure somewhere in here.
What's the language in there? Oh, you can change the colour.
Yeah, you can do exactly. I was sure somewhere in here I could get this so that the word brownish clean would be the big display and the P01-4 would be small.
Yeah, that would be in your...
I can't work out where it is.
I
thought it was, but let's not.
Try that. Try that.
You sure?
Try.
Okay. Oh yeah, there you go. So right.
Just
so
try,
you can elect.
Don't read the manual, kids.
Yeah, exactly. Read the manual. So you can elect to have either display here. So that's actually probably better now, so you can see the word of what it is.
I love that.
You do, don't you? This is like Knight Rider, the little thing that if it was red.
I can't remember the Knight Rider now.
It's something like that.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
So when we get to the end of 5, we go upper bank. Tells me that again I've got 5 more in the next bank, and then I just pick where I want to go.
Oh God, proggy. No pick needed. If the guitar was in tune, we can do that. He sneaks that in, you know that? There's that one in there somewhere. Again, I don't know how he does that.
If you keep an eye on the screen as we switch through, you'll see these 3 quick edit parameters change for every setting. So like I say, and that's entirely up to you to set what 3 things might you want to quickly get.
So this is the reverb.
Yep. Or reverb mix. The theme with modelers as opposed to profilers is you have to tweak.
Yeah.
You know, if you need to tweak away to get, you know, if you're not into spending a few hours going right into it, you're probably never going to get the best out of these things.
It's a few hours that you could be practicing insteadly, isn't it? You know?
Let's do 5 more presets and then we'll talk about some other things.
Golden age. That's the age I was like 10 years ago. No offense to anyone who... Yeah.
Yeah, I should say as well. And despite the fact that we've just said you must tweak these to get the most out of them,
we're just going through the presets.
We haven't tweaked anything.
You know what? We've kept going on about presets being the companies have to do better presets, brands, and actually they have got better. They have got much.
Do you know,
better.
weirdly, what I found with the stage 2 here, or this Ampero, is the deeper we've got into the presets, the better they're sounding.
Cheryl.
Who knew?
I did. Yeah.
This is half the price of an iPhone, you know, and it's like, and it's everything. It's every amp, every effect, every audio interface requirement. It's like
so much more in it than there is in an iPhone.
I know.
But it only costs $10 or $12 to make an iPhone. Did you know that? No, that's what somebody said.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, a lot
it's like
of R&D
insane.
goes into it, isn't it? But look, I think sometimes
Apparently.
it's like we should never forget just how impressive these are for the price. Anyway, look, so there's millions more patches, and we might come around to them a bit more at the end, but what did I want to do next? I was going to show you the Bluetooth. All right, so look, this is what the app looks like on my phone. If you're familiar with, to be honest, if you're familiar with apps generally, this looks familiar. But if you're familiar with Hotone apps, this looks very, very familiar.
Yeah.
So you can see at the top, it tells you my preset, and I can go through the presets from here. You can see I'm connected
Slick drive,
here.
brown sugar.
Brown sugar! Then you can see my signal path underneath. In fact, we've got some other things here. What have we got in settings? Don't really want to. Okay, so I can adjust settings from here if you want, save stuff. So you can see the chain of effects on here. We've got the dynamic drive, etc. And you'll see the display underneath this changing as I switch through them. So obviously, if I'm on the amplifier, then underneath here you can see it says Brown King Clean. If I hit that, I've then got a ton of different amplifiers here. One thing that is nicer on the app is you don't get all these pictures, these sort of visual references on the screen. You only get those.
I only eat at restaurants, so there's pictures of the food, Lee.
Yeah, and as I think I mentioned before,
that's a lie.
I can change any of these modules to be any effect that I want, so I don't have to stick with what I've got here. And then in terms of adjusting them, this is all pretty standard app stuff. You put your finger over the control you want to do and drag up and down, and that'll change it.
Oh, hello.
So that is edit mode, and like I say, as I go through the presets, you'll see these chains of effects alter on each one. I can add, if I go to what I just did there was I pressed one of the blank ones. I can fill something in. I might decide I want some modulation over there. Boom, boom, boom. Dead easy. All easy peasy stuff.
Lemon.
Across the bottom, cloud is where... Oh, there are some... I didn't think there were. There are some already in the cloud. There are people uploading their...
Yeah, there must be, because I can imagine this will work as for the other ones as well,
probably.
if it's all Hotone's cloud.
So we could download other people's patches. You could share yours if you wanted to.
Be careful Googling Hotone, though.
Yeah.
I think it's,
there's lots and lots of different drum sounds in here. Global settings, again, you can see from here. Global EQ is quite useful. I'll often go in and take some of the bass end out when we're in here globally on these, because they all tend to sound a bit overwhelming, but that's where you would do that. And over here on the sort of My Hotone section here, it just tells me what version I've got, so I can make sure I've got the I've got the latest firmware always.
Swipe left.
So that is a pretty super fast. Do you want me to do anything on here with
Listen
regards
to this sound? This is a good sound. You know what? One thing is the gate on here is not too offensive to me. I can hear there is a gate.
Getting better generally.
I think maybe people are just listening a bit, going, I don't need so much gain on everything. I don't need all of this gate on everything, because it's there, but it's not.
I get it.
But once I play, I actually like that sound. You don't get any pictures.
Yeah, but having
That's a
said that,
shame.
though, I think the fact that it is touchscreen, I suppose I probably would use the screen rather than the app if I had it up on a table. I think I'd probably only bother using the app if
Why would you have
was
it on the table?
floor.
This is a foot
I know.
thing. It's for the stage, so on your feet.
Yeah, but I actually think it's a pretty intuitive.
Does that menu button
interface
again? If you go back into here, for instance, does
yeah,
that?
I think that will now.
So
move.
as soon as it's white, and then you click it.
Yeah.
So you don't.
So
you don't
go
have to use the.
I see. Then it goes
and then over
on,
to that one.
So
Beef boost.
that's where it's...
I see, okay, so that will control... Because you don't necessarily have to use...
No, I don't, honestly, I think that's actually a...
So you've got both... If you're scared of touching touchscreens...
Is that a thing? Is that like touchscreenophobia?
Touchscreenophobia. Phobia to touchscreen.
But I don't mind this. I think it's actually has been well thought out.
It looks great.
Yep.
It's nicely built. Yeah.
It's a bit of a vain thing to say, isn't it, on an effects unit? So, look, we were just basically...
switch.
What else? We were going to talk through global settings, which is... Oh, you've locked it. Aha! Global settings, which is over here. So we've got lots of... So what will happen is, as I elect to hit these different ones, you'll see the menus across the bottom here, so we can change things like it's the type of instrument you're going to plug into it. You've got phantom power, which is crazy.
For your microphones.
You've got, oh crikey, routing options here, whether or not you want cabinet emulation off. There's quite a lot of stuff. Then you've got all your USB settings. Funnily enough, there was a couple of things I noticed here that I did change out the box.
Okay.
Which was I'm fairly sure the auto cabinet match was off, meaning that you had to actually...
I seem to remember something about another video you and John did once. You had to match them on...
And then the other thing that isn't a standard mode out the box is the bank up and down. As soon as you press bank up, it loads the patch that you're on. So say you're on bank 1, patch 3, and you go...
It loads it immediately.
It just loads immediately.
Oh, that's
and that always annoys me. But again, so I changed
everything
that so
annoys
that
you, though.
yeah, that's true. So it is worth familiarising yourself with what's in the global settings. MIDI, God, I've never understood MIDI, so don't worry about that.
You've got a global EQ.
Global
is
EQ
that
is
on the out. Is that
that is a full parametric with low cut and high cut as well.
Cool.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then you've got all these options to change the colour of your display and what you see on the screen. Bluetooth. That was also, again, out the box. Bluetooth for audio streaming and for the app were both switched off. So I can imagine you sitting there for hours going, where is it on my phone? Without realising you have to actually enable Bluetooth
might be a
on here.
certificate thing they need for,
Who knows? But that's global settings.
You should play a bit, Lee, just to feel what do you think for your life.
Yeah,
there you
fine,
go. Just play,
absolutely.
You play that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Links are below for this.
You can find all the Ampero products, all the Hotone products on the Andertons website.
Shimmer Verb, let's try that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come on. Silent explosion. Swirling fuzz wall. Come on.
No.
Psycho Stoner, come on.